Saved from impeachment, Kenyan senator spares governor fired by his county assembly. Makueni's bizarre happenings, man claims to have a snake inside his leg. And the only survivor of Juba's plane crash recovers in hospital.
A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the Weekend at 1. It is the 7th of November 2015. My name is Najma Ismail. Now, the Kenyan Senate Special Committee that had been appointed to investigate grounds for removal from office of Murang'a Governor Mwangi wa Iria last night declared that the accusations against him did not meet the threshold of impeachment. Now, the David Musila-led team, however, observed there appeared to be serious flaws in the procurement process for a 34.5-acre piece of land and has directed the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate the matter. Now, the special seating of the Senate saw intense arguments, especially between CORD-allied senators and Jubilee-allied senators, as some senators accuse the special committee of letting Wairia off the hook too easily. Wairia will now continue serving as the Murang'a governor. Now, this may be hard for some people to believe, but residents of Malili town in Kenya's Makueni County are in shock after a snake allegedly wrestled a man down and lodged itself inside his body. The powerful snake is claimed to have attacked the man after he reportedly trespassed through a neighbor's home and has refused to come out of his leg despite prayers by members of the neighboring churches. Now, Murimi Mwangi with the bizarre details.
Spiritual fireworks in a deadly face-off with the forces of darkness, said to be in the form of a dangerous snake hiding inside this man's leg. Spiritually charged prayers doing little to ease the pangs of pain, biting Daniel Musila hard as the said snake occasionally maneuvers inside his body. But how did it get here? Well, Musila says he was on his way home when some dogs came chasing after him. He says he ducked them by jumping over a neighbor's fence, where his tribulations started.
Kuruka kwenda kufika chini nikakutana na nyoka ikanifunga miguu mbili kisha ikaingia kwa mwili.
Hadi ikaingia kwa mwili? Ikaingilia wapi?
Ikaingilia huko chini. Nilipigana naye lisalizima, baadaye nikachoka nikasema tu nimeze. Ndio sasa iliingia kwa nyama, nikakaa kidogo nikaangalia kama iko hapo chini. Ndio nikasikia iko kwa mwili inafanya hivi.
Musila says this was no ordinary snake, but an evil spell placed on the homestead to guard against trespassers. Although residents here claim the snake may have attacked him, allegedly because he was trying to steal the fence, which he claims to have jumped over during his escape from the dogs.
Nasikia kutoka hapa mpaka hapa.
Musila, kutoka uambao sasa unasikiaje?
Nimepungua kidogo lakini bado imenikaza.
Kulingana mimi naona ni kama alikula kitu ya wenyewe. Kulingana na wakaaji wa huko vile wao kusema.
Kama nilikosa kufita kwa fenzi yake akuje tu anitemee mate, ama kuna kitu anataka kunidai nimlipe.
Musila, who sells second-hand phones, is now calling out to the owner of the said homestead to come and command the snake off his body because it is subjecting him to great pain, adding that he is innocent and never meant to trespass through the home.
Hiyo waya tu labda ndio imeniletea shida wakati nilikata hivi. Nikakata mara mbili, ya tatu nikakutana na nyoka.
But as these fervent prayers to free him continue, Musila may still continue hosting the said deadly serpent inside his body. Well, until its owner comes back for it. Mrimi Mwangi, KTN News, Nairobi.
Now, away from that, Catholic Archbishop John Cardinal Njue last night hosted a fundraiser ahead of the Pope's visit to Kenya, which is now just 18 days away. The fundraiser was aimed at generating funds that will be used to set up a service delivery activity in honor of the Pope's visit to the country. Now, the event, attended by former President Mwai Kibaki, was organized by Catholic bishops in the country, with nearly 60 million shillings raised within the first night.
This honor has come with the responsibilities for both the state and the church, and consequently the need for the national concerted effort. The required activities for the visit put a heavy budgetary requirement that we were not able to shoulder as simply as a church. Hence the call for the Kenyans of goodwill to lend a hand. We are glad that the Kenyans have responded to this request in an overwhelming manner.
Tonight's dinner is an illustration of the call to unity that Holy Father brings us. As we prepare to receive the Pope, let us be kinder to ourselves and count our blessings a little more often. Let us also celebrate our resilience and the tenacity and seek against whatever odds to create fountain of peace, understanding, and prosperity in Africa.
Rift Valley leaders led by KANU National Secretary General Nick Salat have called on President Uhuru Kenyatta to relieve Devolution Cabinet Secretary Anwai Guru of her duties following damning reports of financial impropriety in her docket. Now, the KANU Secretary General said Kenyans were losing trust in President Kenyatta and urged him to show leadership by acting on corruption allegations.
Hii uongozi haina urafiki, haina mapenzi, haina chochote. Kama imefika wakati wa kuamua, uamue. Mambo ya mama wa Guru, atusemi ameiba, hiyo ni kotini na hiyo ni uchunguzi itafanywa. Lakini malalamiko imefanyika. Rais, we are really begging you that the country is losing trust and is not the way they have always held you so high. You are losing it so fast, and that even us as KANU, we are very much afraid. During our time, they mentioned Golden Bag. During Kimbaki's time, they mentioned Anglo Leasing. During there was the senior Kenyatta, there was Chepkube. During you as now, it seems if you don't act fast, it will be Waiguru Dome.
We condemn corruption. We would like to look after the resources of this country.
Still on Waiguru, the pressure on the Kenyan Devolution Cabinet Secretary has this week been coming even from right inside the Jubilee coalition. Lari Member of Parliament Mburu Kahangara is also asking Anwai Guru to step aside for investigations into the alleged corruption in her ministry.
Ameambiwa step aside, resign na mambo mengine kama haya. Na kuna mswada ambao utakuja katika bunge. Lakini yangu mimi kama mjumbe wa Lari, nimezunguka, tumeongea na ninyi wananchi. Na sio mzuri kusema ni wetu wanapigwa na ile habari yote ambayo inatoka kutoka kwa wizara yake. Tuache kuangalia kusema opposition hapa na pale. Pesa imeibiwa. Tumeona kwamba baadaye kuna mambo mengi yamefanyika, yale yamejitokeza juzi. Wanasema ni kwa bahati mbaya, lakini ukweli ni kwamba kuna mambo ambayo yamefanyika katika wizara na ambapo pesa nyingi zimepotea. Sasa ingine ukitaka kufanya uchukuzi, na mwenye unachunguza ako pale ndani, utapata haki kweli? Haiwezi kupatikana, kwa sababu lazima kuna mambo itakuja kufichwa. Tunasema step aside, give room for investigations. If you are clean, you'll come back to your job. Hata wale wengine wamesimamishwa bado wako nje, na hatuwezi kusema ati tunalilia mtu na amesimamia watu ambao wanaiba, kwa sababu hatuongei ati kulikuwa na attempt. Kama ingekuwa ni attempt, to do something else. But now we are saying that so far over 800 million, close to 0.8 billion, hiyo pesa tayari ni ngapi zingine zimeenda. We want investigations to be done, and investigations zikifanywa, we are asking Waiguru to step aside, the BS also to step aside, so that they can have proper investigations. If they are clean, they are going to come back to their job.
Now, away from that, the county government of Nyeri has made good its threat of demolishing houses in Witemere area of Nyeri County. Government officials had warned residents of Witemere that their houses would be destroyed should they fail to move from the area. Now, the reason given to them was that they were in danger of mudslides should the El Nino rains come. The government of county government of Nyeri said that the semi-permanent houses have been built on a slope and heavy rains would cause destruction and death. Security personnel arrived in Witemere early morning and began demolishing the houses. The residents had moved to court to try and stop the exercise. Many complained that they had lived in the area for years and heavy rains had not harmed them.
KCP sijui ataanza wapi Monday, na hata sijui kuanzia hapo nitaenda aje. Wamenibomolea nyumba, vitu zangu zote zimeharibiwa, sina hata mahali pa kukaa. Hata wamekuja na power saw, mashifu wote wako huku, kamishina wetu wako huku, lakini hatusaidii. OCS watu wote wako huku, lakini hakuna mtu anatusaidia.
Tunajua kuna pesa walitenga kama county government ya kusaidia wenye wataadhirika na El Nino. Na tunataka kujua nini kuna watu wanasema kuna 50,000 wamepeana, na hiyo watu wanasema hakuna kitu kama hiyo wamepeana. Tunataka hii serikali ya county government ifikirie hii watu, ijue itawapeleka wapi. County zingine kama Murang'a na county zingine, watu wakiondolewa juu ya El Nino wanaondoa hapa, wanawapeleka pahali nyingine. Na hii serikali ya county ya Nyeri imeshindwa na kufanya kazi. Wale wameshaguliwa na wananchi wameshindwa na kufanya kazi. Kwa hivyo tunawaulisa kama wameshindwa na kazi wajiondoe, tuweke wengine ambao watajali maslahi ya wananchi.
Mimi nimeishi hapa kwa miaka more than 25 years, nimezaliwa hapa. Mama yangu ni a single parent, yeye anaishi hapa. Kutoka nimejijua nikiwa hii mahali. Ni siku nyingi wamekuwa wakikuja kutuhamisha, wanatuambia tuko kwa plot za wenyewe. Mara kuna wenye plot wanadai ati tuhame, lakini raundi hii wamekuja na njia ya El Nino. Sasa kutoka zile El Nino zimekuwa zikinyesha, hatujai bebwa na maji, na hii ya leo ndio wanasema ati tutabebwa na maji. Kwani binadamu hana akili ya kutumia El Nino ikikuja ujiabie uhame? Na bona wanasema tuodoe manyumba, na nimekuwa nikiuliza every now and then, bona wanasema tuodoe manyumba kama ni El Nino, na so far hakuna mvua imenyesha.
If the county government know that there is a problem here, then why not get an alternative means on this? And again, there is a court case in court. Yes. And the judge said he is going to rule on 20th whether these people should be here or not. What the county government should be doing, there should be no blanket condemnation. Those people who are in dangerous places, we agree they can be moved out. But if it is that, why only in this particular place? Why mobilize all the police for just this particular place? How many people are in areas that are dangerous in terms of slope? Go to Mokoroine. The land is even more slopey than this. True or false? Is the government doing anything?
Still on matters of mudslides, Brazilian rescuers were still searching frantically for survivors late last evening after burst dams unleashed a torrent of toxic red sludge that killed at least 17 people and destroyed a village. Now, the mudslide erupted Thursday from a reservoir of waste at the partly Australian-owned iron ore and minerals mine in southeastern Brazil, ripping the roofs off houses and leaving villages clinging to their roofs. Firefighters searched the ruins of Bento Rodriguez, a village of some 600 people near the southeastern city of Mariana in the historic mining region of Minas. Now, the cause of the disaster was not confirmed, but one seismological expert said small tremors had been detected in the area on Thursday. By last night, there were 17 people officially confirmed killed and 50 injured, but more bodies were found early this morning.
Tipo assim, de corpo, tipo rolando. Então tem o cachorro, e cachorro não erra.
To South Sudan now. Of the two survivors pulled out of the wreckage of the plane that crashed on Wednesday, one has passed away, leaving only a single survivor. Now, the sole survivor, a young boy, is now recovering in hospital. At least 36 people were killed on Wednesday when the Soviet-era Antonov plane crashed just after takeoff from South Sudan's capital, Juba. Police and rescue workers recovered the bodies of men, women and children among the wreckage of an 12 cargo plane which crashed into a farming community on an island in the White Nile River seconds after departure. Now, rescue workers are still at the site where they say more bodies could still be found in the debris. Time now for a short break, but don't go too far. I will be back with more news. Now, a toilet-themed cafe opens in Russian capital, serving food in lavatory and urinal-shaped bowls, which honors hope will not scare away the appetites of the customers. Take a look.
An unusual cafe has opened its doors to the public in the Russian capital, Moscow, with furniture and crockery dedicated to all things lavatorial. The Crazy Toilet Cafe delivers just what the name promises: toilet-themed food in lavatorial and urinal-shaped bowls. Visitors to the cafe are seated on real toilets while they eat and can look at artwork showing cartoon characters going to the toilet. Located in a tourist hotspot, Arbat Street, the cafe is already drawing curious customers who say the fickle nature of the theme has not put them off their meal. It's very original, unusual, of course. My husband warned me that it would be an unusual cafe, but I didn't expect it would be this unusual, says Oksana, who came to the restaurant with a husband and baby. Anastasia, who scrolled through her smartphone to find the best picture for herself posing with a toilet-shaped mug, said she liked the crockery best. Cafe owner Alexander Donskoy is used to the limelight. Once a mayor, he was handed a 3-year suspended jail sentence after running for the presidency in 2007. Donskoy is also known in Russia for opening the G-Spot Museum in Moscow. He recently told Reuters he had other cafes, but this one is the most novel and is garnering great interest. We opened for a few days as a test. The official opening is today, and we can already say that the cafe is popular. Yesterday was a weekend day, and there was no free space. And what is strange for me is that there are customers who come with their children. Children really like it. They find this theme very funny and interesting, he says. He added, lavatorial theme could scare off visitors' appetites, but he hopes to draw them into the coloring books. Some adults, when they see poop as element of design, they get frightened and say we can't eat. But children are excited, and that is why they have already ordered coloring books from the artist who designed the cafe. They are now making children coloring books with a theme of poop. So children can be coloring in poo here and doing their art here, so engaging in art. I hope the adults will do this too, he says. The Crazy Toilet Cafe is not the only one in the world, with similarly themed eateries in Taiwan and China. Donskoy says he hopes his lavatorial cafe has a Russian flavor to it. I flew to Shanghai and looked at how it works. I decided to bring it here with a Russian color, he says. Visitors to the cafe promise they will be returning, saying the food tastes better than it looks. The cafe says its menu is affordable and stays true to its name, with some courses looking very close to the theme.
Well, that's it on the weekend at 1, but I leave you with just a recap of our top stories during this bulletin.
Saved from impeachment, Kenyan senator spares governor fired by his county assembly. Makueni's bizarre happenings, man claims to have a snake inside his leg. And the only survivor of Juba's plane crash recovers in hospital.